Hey, good afternoon. I guess morning. It's still morning. It feels like afternoon, but good morning. Thank you for joining us in our May Agent Town Hall. Please remember you do have the ability to unmute yourself if you have any questions or contributions that you would like to ask or make. We want this to be as we want the participation to be as much as you want. As you can see, I'm having a problem with my words, so you're welcome to fill them in at any point. But we're gonna jump right in, and we are going to go over kind of what these next few town halls are going to look like. So in April, we covered Pillar One, which is our year-round marketing. And we're going to touch on that here in just a little bit. And then we're really going to dive in to Pillar Two, which is building the right team. And this is going to be very important to your growth as an agent or agency. In June, we are going to talk about standardizing the experience for all of your clients and your employees. July, we are going to talk about retention. And in August, we're going to talk about expanding your portfolio. All five of these pillars are going to help you have an amazing AEP, and they're really going to feed your growth. Growth is more than just sales. It is everything behind it, the systems, the habits, and even the strategy that you have for your business is all going to feed your growth. So, to remind you what we covered in April, we talked about marketing. And marketing is getting your name out there into the world on a consistent year-round branding effort. You want uniformed messages with every type of marketing that you do. And you want to make sure that you are marketing in as many channels is affordable for you. So, social media, print advertising, local partnerships with businesses in your area. Everything should have the same color messaging, it should have the same logos, and it should have the same messaging. And this makes you a very kind of name brand in the Medicare and insurance world. You don't want to do marketing in bursts. You want to do marketing consistently throughout the entire year to get that recognition in your brand so that people have your brand in the back of their mind anytime they think about insurance. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, Courtney, I don't really have a brand. I'm just an independent agent. Well, you are your brand. So please keep that in mind. It can be as simple as wearing a t-shirt when you go out to the grocery store or maybe a kid's sporting event or whatever you might do that says, ask me about Medicare. Just something to start that conversation and to make people start to recognize you and what you do for a living. Brandon, anything to add?
The only thing I'll add to that is one thing we did talk about right at the tail end of last month's session, and that is the results that you see during the fourth quarter during AEP actually come from the activities that's done the prior three quarters. So we're already through first quarter, we're in the second quarter now, and we're getting into the time where this is prime season to begin branding yourself, marketing your business, letting people know what you do. Business can still be written now, but I know we all focus towards AEP, but a lot of folks, what we've seen in the past is they wait too late, right? They wait until AEP begins October 15th. They'll wait till 1st of October to start marketing. By then, beneficiaries have seen billboards, they've seen signs, they've seen flyers in the grocery store when they walk in, they've seen flyers at the laundromat if they use a laundromat, they've gotten business cards. They've seen a brand, even if it's subconsciously, they've seen someone out there that means Medicare. If you've not gotten in that space, like now's the time to do it. And that's really what we talked about last month. So that is on our YouTube channel. So if you want to watch that, feel free to jump over to YouTube and look for NCC Agent. That is our channel, and we have that session up there. And was a really great session last month. And so today is going to build off of last month.
And we are going to jump right in to pillar number 2 is all about building the right team. Even as an independent agent, this is something that you should be thinking about in multiple different ways. So you don't have to be an agency to have a team. We do suggest that you create an agency just because it is better for your business to have an agency as kind of a shelter for you. If something were to ever happen to you, and you would have to stop doing business for whatever reason, having an agency does provide you the ability to really have a solid succession plan. Or even if you would like to sell your business, having that agency makes it a lot easier. So you can be an individual human underneath of an agency and still considered an agency. But the right team does not necessarily mean that you are hiring additional agents. It means that you are hiring people to do things that you no longer have the time to do. So that could easily be a member of an admin staff. Maybe sales is truly your passion. For most people on this call, it probably absolutely is your passion, or you wouldn't be here. So if you want to continue to focus on sales, then you need a team underneath of you that is doing the other things that you either don't like, aren't good at, or give half of your attention to when it really needs more than that. So we ask everybody that we talk to this about to think about the things that just drain you on a daily basis. Most agents do not check their commission statements. That drives me insane. That's your money coming in, and you're not checking those commission statements. So if you hate that part, if it's just something that drains you, then that's something that you should hire for. Some agents aren't good at the follow-up after the sale. Well, that's a huge part of retention. And if you're not good at that, or maybe you just don't have the time to do it because you have so much new business coming in, then you should hire somebody to do that for you. The whole premise behind this is to really energize your day. And in order to do that, in order to constantly give your day 100% of your effort, you have to do things that you like. Most of the time, the stuff that we like, we're really good at. So that's just going to consistently add fuel to your fire in growing your business, which also means that you have to download the things that you don't like. And I like to refer to it as hire what you hate, and then you get to focus on what you are really good at. And that adds a whole new life to you, to your business, and to the growth of your business. So if you think every day, man, I really liked running those appointments, or man, I just hate doing this. I put this off on a constant basis. For me, that is anything that revolves Excel. I cannot stand it. I do not like it. I procrastinate anything that has to do with Excel for the end. And thankfully, here at National Contracting Center, we have other people that do that stuff and they do it very, very well. Now, if I can get somebody to tell me the data behind the Excel and kind of let me know what that whole report was about and what the outcome is, then I'm on it. I can make any corrections from there that are needed. We can spot errors. We can make pivot adjustments to make sure that we're putting more time and energy into X and Y to get to Z. Um, it just really becomes a much more fast-paced and energetic environment when everybody is doing something that they really like. And as an independent agent, I can guarantee you that there are at least three things on a daily basis in your work life that you cannot stand. Take a couple minutes, write those three things down, and let's figure out what you can do to download those items onto somebody else. Maybe it is simply, getting a system in place. Maybe you're not at the point where you want to hire somebody, but you are at the point where we need to work on some automations within a CRM for you. That's another option if you're not quite ready to pull the trigger on hiring somebody.
Things that take up time, and then when you farm that out, you get your time back because time is the one thing that is just that expendable resource that we can't get back. So if you can get, say, 2 hours back on your calendar to either run another appointment or be out marketing yourself, that frees you up. I know I talked to one agent a while back that uh, oddly enough, he did not like calling and setting appointments. He loved running the appointments and he loved closing and he did well at it, but it was just he was so busy running his appointments, he couldn't get back to people in time to schedule other appointments. And it just the consistency of being busy. So he farmed out to an appointment setter. He got I think it was his niece that she didn't mind calling folks to set appointments, and that's all she did was call leads that he had and set appointments, and then he ran the appointments, and he got several hours back on his calendar per week by doing that, and therefore closed more appointments. The income went up. I think did we talk about this on another town hall at one point? I think we talked about the income part that when you farm out because it's that odd conversation, right? It's like, well, I don't really want to spend the money, but what's the return on investment? And this return on investment by paying the appointment setter a couple dollars an hour to set appointments, he was able to write 4 or 5 more policies a week, which definitely made him more money. So that's farming things out can be a really good thing for you.
And that's a great point. If you think about it, just in one new to Medicare sale, that's almost $700 in your pocket. If you are hiring either a new agent or a new admin to your staff, and you free up yourself to produce three additional sales, new to Medicare sales a week, that's an extra $2,100, give or take. That more than pays for the additional member to your team. You just really have to keep that in mind. It sounds like a heavy lift, but the end result is increased production. You get the life back in your business as well, and things start to become fun again. It is not waking up every morning not knowing how you're going to accomplish things. It's waking up every morning knowing that you get to do the fun part and you have a staff either with downline agents or admin staff that also think their job is fun. And that's when the growth really starts to happen. So let's talk about the difference between downline agents and administrative staff. Downline agents are people who are just like you. They love sales. They want to get out and get in front of clients, whether that is in person or on the phone. And they have a true passion for helping people. Your role in that is to train them. And that's where your job pivots. So you really have to think about that. It isn't just finding additional people like you, it is training those people to do the job the way that you do. And if you're not a good trainer, if training is not one of your passions in your business, then a downline agent may not be the route that you want to take. At National Contracting Center, we can help you with the recruiting. So I'm not too stuck on that. But if you're not good at training, downline agents are not the best path in growing your business. And that's what takes us over here to the admin staff. Admin staff are the support people. They are truly the lifeblood in any office. Without a good admin staff, at some point, you will kind of be handcuffed in your growth. And that's because support people handling the non-sales work give you the time to continue to grow your business because you don't have to worry about answering the service calls. You don't have to worry about scouring the spreadsheets to make sure that your commissions are correct. You don't have to worry about sending out emails or letters to your clients every 30, 60, or 90 days to make sure that they don't have any questions. You can even hire admin staff that are licensed agents, and they can take care of your cross-selling if that's something that you don't like. Admin staff is best when you really, really, truly want to focus all your time and effort on sales, and you're not real good or don't really like the rest of it. Brandon, what would you add to that?
That about sums it up. I mean, it goes back to what you said earlier, is that hire what you hate. And if I mean, in any business, there is stuff that just don't like. And if there's an opportunity to hand that off to somebody that possibly does like it, I'm like you. I don't do well in Excel. I don't understand it, but thankfully we have a whole department that they know all about pivot tables and all the stuff that you can do in Excel. Uh, I mean, I can farm around in it if I want to, and it would take me probably 2 weeks to get a spreadsheet put together, whereas they can do it in an hour. Same thing with this and the admin work. You go back to checking your commission statements. Now, that gets a little iffy because you may not want someone knowing exactly what your money is like, but any sort of paperwork issue or follow-up calls or follow-up emails or letters or anything that, drains you, admin staff is a great opportunity to do that. And there are people out there that love doing that stuff. You just have to look for it. And like Courtney said earlier, we can help you recruit either side of this, really, if we're looking at it. But uh, I think what I would say to this, Courtney, you may agree or disagree, is you need to do this before you think you're ready, right? And I'm not saying you're just licensed, you just started selling, you need to get an admin staff. What I am saying is if you've been selling for a while and you know that you don't like doing certain things, or you put it off to the end, or you're starting to miss things, or you've grown to a size where you can't get back to everybody in a solid time frame. You don't want to get to the point where you're falling apart to try to hire somebody because it's like throwing a band-aid on a sinking ship. But you want to bring somebody on the ship while it's still going to help you guide that ship. I don't know where these metaphors are coming from, Courtney. I'm sorry about that. But
I don't know, but you seem to want to go on a ship, Brandon.
well, I just started watching Game of Thrones again, so there's ships in there. So I guess that's where it's coming from. But what we see a lot of times is agents that will stress themselves out because they want to do it all themselves. And then when they're stressed, then they go try to hire someone, and it just you need to do it before you think it's time. Does that make sense? Like once you get to a point where you feel a little bit stretched, maybe it's time to have a conversation of, is it time to bring on someone else? And that's where us at National Contracting Center, we will we will be a sounding board for you, and we'll ask you those hard questions, right? Like, is it time? What do you think about this? Where are you in your progression? Because we've seen agents come on and we've seen them grow. We've seen them add downline agents. We've seen them add admin staff. So we can help guide you in there, but you have to come to us and say, hey, uh, I'm thinking about this, or what about, you know, would it make sense to do this? And we'll be glad to have those conversations with you.
Absolutely. And I really do want to echo what Brandon said. Don't wait until you're stressed out. If you are pushing yourself to the max on a daily basis and you just don't have the time to accomplish everything you set out to accomplish, then it's time to hire. But don't continue to push that off because you think it's going to be too difficult or you think it's going to cost you too much money. There are so many affordable ways to figure out what you can download to make your job easier, to make your day more enjoyable, and to make your business more profitable. Just call us. Call us, and I mean, really, you're just going to have to vent for a few minutes. We're going to figure out what you're venting about and then how we can help you. So, we are here for recruiting support. We will take what you need to hire, put that into a job description, and then our very talented recruiting staff is going to post jobs and do the initial screening for you in order for you to be able to hire the proper people. The training and development portion, our YouTube channel is chock full of videos that a new hire, whether it's a downline or an admin staff, can watch to get familiar with our business, how Medicare works, everything. And if they would rather participate in training, then our sales development managers do a field ready Friday. Brandon, I think it's every other week. Is that correct?
It is. That's
Cool.
correct.
Every other week, they can jump on those Field Ready Fridays and then they can participate in a real live interactive training to help them better understand everything about Medicare in our business. We do have these town halls as well, and we host carrier specific webinars. Carriers also have pre recorded webinars on their websites, their YouTube channels, etc. So there's tons of in-person, virtual, and pre-recorded trainings that you can take advantage of. And then when you have your specific questions, when you have the need to create agency specific content for training, that's where your sales development managers come into play. They directly partner with you to help you not only structure your next part in growing, but also give you the content behind that so that you can hold downlines or admins accountable for the job duties that you hired them for. So, very important to understand that we are here from the initial inception of the idea that you need to hire, clear through hiring a person and holding them accountable for their job duties. The last thing that you want to do is keep somebody on staff that is not being productive. So, being able to hold them accountable is extremely important to the success of that hire and your agency.
But we can get you a link to it so that you can take a look at it. Or if you have someone that you brought onto your team that you want them to see something like that, let us know. We can get you the link to it, and then they can take a view and watch it, and then ask any questions that they have. So definitely feel free, and it's all free. Like, we don't charge for any of this. There are some other FMOs out there that charge for training content. I actually have received a solicitation from a couple, which is interesting, but we don't charge for that. If we know it, we want you to know it so that you can be successful out there. We're not going to charge you for anything like that.
All right. Now, the part of these five pillars that are going to make them applicable to you and your business, your agency, is the homework behind it. So, we want you to do two things. We would like you to make a list of what you are great at and what you hate doing. And that's going to sound stupid, like you know everything that you're good at and you know everything that you hate. I promise you that list will grow beyond what you initially think. And that's a good thing because then we can have some very targeted conversations about what a job description for your office, for your business looks like. And now that I said office, I do want to point this out. You don't have to have a brick and mortar to have an admin staff. You don't have to have a brick and mortar to have downline agents. Most agents and agencies who have staff, be it admin or downlines, don't. Anymore, there's very few people who have an actual brick and mortar business. When it comes to Medicare, ACA, and ancillary insurance. So don't think of it as having to have a formal setup. You don't. What we have to have are formal job descriptions and the ability to hold people accountable. So once you make those lists, give us a call, and then we can help you decide who or what to hire or what type of subscription service you can subscribe to, what type of CRM might help you be able to automate things. We can talk through those things, but that's after you make those lists. From there, this is that conversation. We decide what path fits you. Downline agents, admin support. Maybe you're in a position where you need both, or maybe you are that person who can, get a virtual assistant. That's probably the most affordable option. Between that and a CRM where you can put in some automations, those are some more affordable non-employee ways to download some things from your plate. And like Brandon mentioned, anything that we do at National Contracting Center, as far as training, as far as recruiting, as far as job descriptions, anything like that, those are all our FMO services that we offer to you at no cost. Our job is to help you grow your business. So if you are kind of teetering on that edge as to whether or not you need to move all your contracts to National Contracting Center, whether or not you want to keep your other FMO, ask yourself that. I have quite a few industry partners at this point, and there are so many FMOs who are charging for things that we do completely free. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm glad that Brandon brought that up because it's not something that I think about that often. I've worked with NCC for 15 years, and the amount of service and support that you get from us is truly second to none. So if you're in a position where you need a downline agent, recruiting's not your thing, give that to us. Allow us to do that for you. It is a free service. It is just like your sales development manager who is there to help you at every step of the way. Our recruiting staff will step in. Again, they'll go over a job description with you. We'll make some job postings, and we'll help you find the best person for the job as quickly as possible. And that's a downline agent and or your admin support. If you think that a CRM or a subscription service, virtual assistant is your best way to go, please reach out to your sales development manager. They can go over some of those options with you, and get you on a more targeted approach for that path as well. Brandon, did I miss anything?
No, I think you hit it hit the nail on the head. The only thing I would add is as you are thinking about this, uh, be brutally honest with yourself. And that's something that it's hard, I think, for us as selling agents to do because honestly, we think we're pretty good at most things, right? We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't think we were good. But be brutally honest as you're doing this because as you do that, you're going to be able to separate the things that truly you are good at versus the things that I tolerate. I can do it. If you're truly honest with yourself, you'll divide those things out, and those are the things that you can farm out and really start to see some progression in your sales, in your business. And we're here every step of the way to help you do that. So coming up next month, we're going to build off of what we've done so far. So obviously pillar one, pillar two, we're going to move into pillar three, and we're going to talk about as you're starting your agency, as you're starting this, standardizing the experience. And I think this is something that a lot of agents don't think about because it's just let's just go start selling, right? We don't think about the processes needed to get things going. And Courtney, I think that's something that you guys spend a lot of time talking to potential agents, agencies about is when you make this move, you've got to have some processes, procedures in place to make sure that it sustains the growth. And I think that's what we're going to jump into next month.
Yeah, 100%. This is important from a job description standpoint. This is important from a client. Oh, Brandon, word.
Retention.
Nope.
No?
I mean,
Acquisition?
could be expectation, I guess, of the client experience. That's it. We're going to standardize the experience so that clients have good experiences. Wow. Sorry, took me a while to get there. Um, you want your business to run like it's always you doing the job. So having a standardized approach to everything is very important to the perception of you and your agency, how many referrals you're going to get, etc. And then from an accountability aspect, a standardized process gives you that ability to hold each person, downline, admin staff, even a virtual assistant, if that's the route that you go, to be accountable and to make sure that you don't have an employee who's just sucking out your money, that you are paying for a great person who is always out there doing the best that they can for you as well as your clients. So this is going to be a big deep dive in June. So we can't wait for you to join us for that. Please work on the homework that we just gave you and make sure that you make your two lists and then give us a call so that we can help you figure out what your next step is. Again, please drop any questions in the chat. Just come off of mute and ask your questions. We do want this to be as beneficial to you as possible. So if you have some questions, please go ahead and voice them now.
Courtney, I think one that just came through on the anonymous Q&A side is you mentioned about hiring licensed people. What are the advantages to hiring them, a licensed person versus a non-licensed person?
It's really knowledge and the ability to do more of your service work than a non-licensed person. So if you think about it from a knowledge aspect, they understand some of the compliance aspects to insurance. If they have a Medicare background, they understand a lot of the compliance aspects that you have to uphold in order to continue to grow your business. And then being able to cross-sell as a licensed agent really takes some weight off of you. You're able to focus on that Medicare side, on that ACA side, and grow that portion of the business. And then as your admin staff are making retention calls or anything like that, they can position those ancillary products and really stick that client to you and your agency just by doing that simple cross sell for you. So again, knowledge, and then the ability to do the cross sell and help your clients a little bit more when you're focused on those bigger items, the ACA plans and the Medicare plans. All right, guys. Well, if you come up with any additional questions, please reach out. Myself, Brandon, any member of the National Contracting Center staff is here to help you. If you'd like to have a more detailed conversation about your particular situation, just give us a call. One-on-one, we'll go through everything with you. We want to make sure that we are working for you and that we are doing the best for your business and your situation. So reach out, give us a call. Outside of that, thank you for your time today, guys. We appreciate everything that you do, and we look forward to talking to you soon.